Hi, air signs. I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to This Is Your Sign. This is the November love reading for all the Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Welcome to the month of November. In the United States right now, this is a really tough time. This is Saturday. It's Saturday, November 8th, and we are still waiting to find out who our president is and or who our next president is going to be. And somebody put this funny thing on Facebook, and it's funny, not funny, because they put it's like being in divorce court waiting to see who gets custody of us. And that's what it's like. I figured that was like, boy, if somebody could sum it up, they really did. All right. Let's get into your reading, air signs. So the first one is Yang upside down, and this is the divine masculine. The next one is New Life, and it's upside down, and this is your tribe, and it's upside down. So all of your cards came up upside down. So what this says to me right now is you guys, you're being divinely guided. You're waking up to your new life, but you're not trusting the process yet. But it's happening anyway for you, and your tribe, your soul tribe, is there waiting for you, and you're not sure if you can trust it yet. It's okay. Do not worry. They are there for you. God is there for you. Your higher power is there for you. And let's get into love. But this is telling me you're learning to love yourself. And that, my friends, is the greatest love of all. Thanks to Whitney Houston, but it really is. It sets the masculine principle of movement and creativity, the power to make things happen, taking action. Be mindful of the tendency towards impulsive action, overconfidence, and aggressive behavior. Think before you act, lest you find yourself in a situation that will lead to be uncomfortable consequences. Be sure you really want what you're chasing after, because you might be sorry when you get it. The appearance of this card isn't a cause for fear, for it is all about learning lessons, practice, temperance, diplomacy, and thoughtful consideration before making a move. So this is saying maybe you think you want your old relationship back, and maybe it's more like you want this person to want you back so you can reject them because your ego was really wounded. And maybe somebody rejected you, and it felt like, it's like somebody ripping your scab off, except for you don't want the scab ripped off. And it, honestly, if somebody does not want you, you don't want to be with somebody that you have to beg to take you back or feel sorry for you in order to have you. Like, that is a horrible feeling. And I heard this expression, and it's so beautiful, and it's true. Rejection is God's protection. So when somebody rejects you, it is not a personal hit against you. This is God, Spirit, the divine, your angels telling you, guess what? We got something way better for you. I know you can't see it right now, but we're asking for you to believe and trust that. And trust me, when you are in this, it feels like shit, and it feels like it's never going to happen. But this is asking you to please consider that there might be something else better for you. Okay, the next one is New Life, and it's upside down. It says birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. You must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like a delicate new bud opening. It's okay to admit you might not know something. You are at the beginning of things and haven't yet hit your stride. Be immersed in the newness of it all, and don't try and rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. You guys, it's true. We all want the shortcut. Give me the shortcut so I can speed this up and get on with my life. And this is saying it is going on, and you are being presented with things that if this relationship wasn't taken from you when it was, that you would not be learning and doing the things that you are now. And that is your gift. And a lot of times when your band-aid is ripped off of your wound or your scab comes off and you're not ready for it, it hurts. It bleeds all over the place. It's messy. It's open. And maybe that's what's happening. Your wound is open. And maybe you thought that if you walked around like an open wound or sore, that people were going to take advantage of you and hurt and harm you. But what you're finding out is the opposite is proven to be true. That when you were at your most vulnerable and your weakest, honestly, that is the best, most beautiful time. Most people are here to help you and they want to see you do well. The people who aren't able to do that are extremely wounded and injured themselves. And that is not an attack against you. It might feel like that. And what I'm here to tell you, a lot of times it is our family that tells us that other people are out to get us and hurt and harm us. But it is not true. Most of the people in the real world, my experience has been, is they want to help you and they do not want to take advantage of you when you are at your most vulnerable. I don't want to say weak, because honestly, being vulnerable is the biggest sign of strength and it's the most badass thing you can do. And if you can't do it, it's being done for you. And I know you wished you were the one who was able to do it, but a lot of times God does for us what we cannot do for ourselves. So this is saying this relationship that you're in or were in is not good for your growth, for your emotional, your physical, your spiritual growth and health. It is not good for you, and you were not able to end it. And the other person did or is going to, and it fucking hurts like hell. And it means, guess what? It means you're present and you're open to your life. And yes, it hurts like hell, but it's not going to hurt like hell forever. Every day that you survive this, it's going to get just a little bit easier, and it is leading you closer to yourself. It's leading you closer to your soul tribe. It's leading you closer to God, and it's leading you back to yourself. So I want to cry because you guys, I cry during your readings. I can't help myself because it's like I can feel your pain. And yes, it hurts. It does. And it's sad. And it's a loss. And it's grieving. It's like a death. But it's also a rebirth, because you are coming to your tribe. And maybe you're realizing your tribe is not your biological family, that you're not related to your tribe, and that's okay. Nobody is. So it says community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. You do have a place in this world, and it's right where you are. Beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the tribe. Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role with the larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real. Stand tall. Be you. Authenticity is a true expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step up into the role your heart tells you to make. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. So this is saying that maybe you couldn't be, maybe you weren't able to be the person that God, Spirit, the divine wants you to be, because you weren't well in this relationship. And you're learning to be well and how to get well. And you know what, begging somebody to be with you and feel sorry for you. I'm telling you this again. You do not want to have to do that for someone to be with you. You are worth so much more than that. And the next person is going to see that about you, and you should not have to not be who you are to be with somebody else. And not being who you are, what does that mean? That means maybe you don't answer because you feel like the people you're with really don't know what you want to say, or really don't want to hear what you have to say. And like, you get that feeling, so you don't voice your opinion. That is playing small. That is not being who you are. And over time, it takes your spirit and it takes your soul. And it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. It is never too late to start your life over or start to do better. So I'm going to tell you one thing. I guarantee if you knew better, you would have did better. And you are doing better now. Now the next reading is from the Island Time Oracle cards, and it says clock, need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, progress. The next one is sunglasses. So it's like watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. The next one is mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. Okay, so you guys, clock. You cannot race or rush this healing process, but you're granted the time right now to be able to start to heal and to begin your healing process. And that is a gift. So you've been given the gift of time right now. And how that looks for you is different for anybody, but there is no shortcut. You cannot make this go faster. I don't care how fast you want to make it go. You want it to hurry up, or you want this other person to realize what they lost and, you know, you can't believe that they've moved on, and it's like watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, focusing out. So maybe you got your sunglasses on. You don't want people to see what you're up to. You're trying to see if this person that left you is living their best life without you. I tell this to my one girlfriend all the time. Nobody is living their best life. If they could not live their best life with you, if they aren't well, if the last person you were with hasn't done therapy, hasn't done counseling, hasn't gotten some kind of help, they are not bringing something to the next person that you didn't get. They don't have it to give. So, you know, it looks like the grass is greener on the other side. It always does. But I'm telling you, the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Moving to something else to get over something is not, it's not healing. It's just, you know what? I was saying, like, your Band-Aid got ripped off. They're just putting another Band-Aid on top of their wound. That is all. And maybe not just a Band-Aid, maybe they put like a whole big, I can't even think of it, but like a gauze, like they are just covering up. It's like filling in the hole. You're not filling in the hole. You're just putting a board over it and keep going. But the hole's still there. It doesn't go away. And the next one, it says not showing true feelings, hiding, pretending, delude, gaslighting. So this person is not able to, if they weren't able to show their true feelings with you, they are not able to show their true feelings with anyone. You are not missing out. Gaslighting. What is gaslighting? So gaslighting is feeling like you have to prove yourself over and over to somebody who doesn't believe you, and somebody who does stuff to make you second guess yourself. So I'm going to give you guys an example of gaslighting. I lived in an apartment a couple years ago. Somebody came into my apartment. They moved my shower head and they changed my thermostat. And I always kept my thermostat on even numbers. And when I came into my place, My thermostat was set on an odd number, which I knew I would have never have done. And my shower head, I'm like 5'2". I could not have moved the shower head by myself on my own. And I remember looking at it and thinking, maybe I hit it when I was cleaning. Then I'm like, there's no freaking way I could have hit that thing. Like, I would have had to intentionally move it. It was moved. I started to freak out. The more time went on, the more I started to realize, like, holy shit, somebody was in here. But it was enough to make me second guess myself, but it wasn't enough to prove it. Like, prove to the management company that somebody came into your place by your shower head being moved and your... So the first thing they said to me is, it wasn't the maintenance men. They're all married with children. Well, guess what? It had to be somebody with a key to my place. And the only other person with a key to my place was the management. And they kept telling me I needed to prove it. I needed to prove it. I needed to prove it. And guess what? I didn't need to prove shit. They needed to prove somebody wasn't in my place. But anyway, I was able, they told me I would never get out of the lease. And I got out of the lease. But that's gaslighting. That's people doing things, making you second guess yourself. That's in extreme circumstances. But a lot of times people might say or do something and then say, I never said that. I never did that. But you can actually leave your body like a drunk person. A drunk person can be in a blackout and they can say or do things and not remember them. But a person can say and do things and not remember them and not need alcohol or drugs in order to do that. And that is gaslighting. And I think sometimes when people are extremely mean and hurtful, they leave their body to do it and they don't remember doing it. Even the person on the receiving end remembers it. So a lot of times gaslighting is people saying or doing things that they don't remember, and they are not in their body when it's happening. And I know this because I leave my body sometimes when I'm in traumatic situations. I have left my body. I've put things down and can't remember where I put them, and nobody's here with me doing it. So gaslighting is a real thing. And maybe I've done that to other people. I hope I never did, but I could have. So those are my examples of gaslighting. So I hope that helps. So I'm going to do one more spread with the Romance Angel Oracle cards. And it says, past life relationship, free yourself, and unrequited love. So it says, you have known each other before, past life relationship. So this person was your soulmate. You were destined to be with this person. And maybe you were destined to be with this person because they were meant to be the father of your children or the mother of your children. But this was a relationship that you had to be in. But just because you had to be in it didn't mean you're meant to be in it forever. It's saying to free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So this is saying, even though this person is your soulmate, you did have a soul connection, they are your karmic partner, it doesn't mean you're meant to be with them forever, and that you can allow yourself and free yourself from this. It is time to take back control of your life. And how do you do this? One step at a time. Maybe you start by even talking to somebody, like you even mention it to a friend first, or maybe you call a counselor. Maybe you start hearing yourself say it. Maybe you're able to join a support group. But this is saying, please free yourself. And it's a process. It takes a lot of time to free yourself. It just doesn't happen overnight. So this is saying you are allowed to free yourself of this. It doesn't matter if you've been in this for 25 years, for 40 years, for 50 years, for 60 years. If something is not right for you, or 2 years, if something is not right for you, it is not right for you, and you don't have to accept it. The next one is unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship over. So this is like, don't beat a dead horse. The relationship is not meant for you anymore, and it is okay. But honestly, you will know this when you know this. There's no hurry. But this is saying there's not enough there to keep you there anymore. And you're going to wake up to that and you're going to realize that. But it doesn't matter that other people can see that for you. It is when you start to see that for yourself. So maybe you're starting to see that for yourself, but you're going to start trusting yourself more. So all of the air signs, I wish you guys love and healing for the month of November. I wish I could give you great news, but honestly, this is great news because you are coming into yourself, into your connection with your higher power, the divine source, God, and you're waking up to your life, and welcome home. So thanks for letting me do your reading today, and this is your sign signing off.